Hey, this is Lance with 20 Sided Night, and today we're going over the Mechanic. Okay, so yeah, we're going over the Mechanics Day. The Mechanic starts on page 76 of the Starfinder core rulebook, and it's a pretty cool class. There's a lot of in-combat things you could do, as well as they also are pretty useful outside of combat.
Yeah.
They have two different sort of sections they break off into. Like on first level, you either get the a drone of some kind.
Yeah, you either get like a robot or you get it's called an Exocortex, but it's a goddamn Cortana. It's basically it's a Cortana slash it's like a little man that it's kind of like for some of the features it sort of seems like on the Matrix and like, oh, teach me how to do this. It's a little bit like that, but we'll get into that later.
Going off topic here, in Halo 5 they replaced Cortana with that little World War II ghost that they captured.
Yeah, see, I haven't played that game, so I saw like one of the I haven't played a lot of them. Like I was playing 5 because we were doing the campaign stuff.
Yeah.
And I saw like a World War II guy. It's like, why is one of the goddamn Tuskegee Airmen there? I mean, it's cool and all, but they like find his soul in like some sort of a crystalline, spooky looking artifact, and like put his soul in this computer, hook it up to Windows 98.
And the whole time it was like, oh, please, I pray to God, you pray, just don't trap my soul in a robot. And like, no, we're doing this. This is what the future's like. We're getting off topic. Let's go back to the engineer, page 76. Mechanical engineer.
This book says mechanic. Like if you look at the book, it says mechanic.
Yeah, you're right, but I can't read. Lie. Anyway, the mechanic on page 76. What did you like about him? Would you play as him? Tell me a little about him.
So I like him. For those in the know, my character Psychog, the best, the most classy A-grade platinum experience technomancer ever, who was 1,000% goth. He was gonna be a mechanic, but then I realized that the party I was gonna join basically full of mechanics. Like you could not, swing a cat for hitting one. So I made him a technomancer. But mechanics are cool because they can do some cool combat stuff, but also they do have a lot of utility that they can provide. For example, if you have the robot doing stuff, even if you have your like a combat, because there's different chassis you can have. So maybe if you have a combat robot, which is basically just your, finding a fool and mixing him and putting him in a pot like gumbo, as the kids say, is mostly for doing that. You can make him do other stuff outside of combat. Like, I don't know, maybe you could have him distract someone by being like, beep boop, I'm a robot, beep boop, here's this package I'm supposed to deliver, and someone's like, no, robot, I'm not supposed to accept packages. Here's like, beep boop, accept package. Press A to accept package.
Well, it's it's a full blown AI. It's not
it's like
self-aware.
It's like
it's better than Rosie from the Jetsons.
Rosie's goddamn self-aware.
Rosie would get mixed up by the combat drone. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, Rosie was a combat drone.
She has no offensive stats. Her only weapon is sass. I like Rosie, but she would listen. Combat drone would beat the bananas off of Rosie, and it wouldn't even be close.
Nah, see, she just used her big old extendo arms and beat it with the broom, or also with that sass you were talking about, psychic damage. The robot would, because here's the thing,
it's like a robot. It doesn't take. What? Here's the thing. You know who's some great people who can settle this argument? People argue in the comments below. Who would win, combat drone or Rosie from the Jetsons?
Because here's the thing, because if a combat drone, it's like if this is sentience. And this finger is a combat drone. The drones are Exocortex, and they're like this here. Like, I don't know if you can see. Maybe zoom in, but they're really close together. My fingers are real close together. So there's like, I can't believe it's not sentience of robots.
Here's the thing.
And
these nice people will figure this out for us. We got a lot more of this huge class to deal with along the way. I want to argue this all day of who would win, Rosie from the Jetsons or Combat Drone, but we got to move on. There's two other drones that you can use. Yeah. One is the stealth drone, and the other is a hover drone.
Yeah.
Hover drone can sort of be like, the security and surveillance person of the group. If you saw, Blade Runner, you know how he had like the drone in the car, and like, yo, drone, the new one, 20.
Yeah, see, spoilers, I haven't seen the new one yet.
Oh yeah, well listen, don't want to spoil it for you. In the new Blade Runner movie, there's cars and there's also drones. That's it. Yeah, that's it. But it can be something like that where it could be like, a security scout. It can be something that sees for you if you don't want to go into a dangerous situation. Say you decide not to play an android.
Yeah.
Or you don't have like, your GM or whatever is doing things where, yeah, your armament it's wearing, it doesn't have this sort of hazmat requirements to, save you from this zone or whatever. You can send him out there. It also can, go into things like vents easier. Basically, it's your spy.
Yeah, or if you lay on the couch and something's like way over there, like you gotta like stand up for that. You'd be like, "Hey, robot, a little help."
Yeah.
And it would fetch you that beer or
Yeah.
whatever. And the stealth robot, it's real good for being stealthy.
Yeah, oh boy. It tells more about the three different drone chassis on page 75. I say we move on for now because this class is more than just, drones.
Yeah.
That's a big thing about it, but it's more than just that. Before we go ahead and tackle Exocortex, let's talk about a little bit about what the class gets just starting out, just their sort of base stat. On page 68, it talks about their stamina points. It's 6 plus their constitution modifier, so a little bit higher than the Technomancer and Mystic.
A little bit.
But not as obviously not as strong and hardy as the soldier. They're sort of again that sort of middle range character. They have 6 health points, and so their key ability score is obviously going to be intelligence.
Yeah.
You got to brainulate to put all
Make a
them
robot.
things together, use your special toolbox and all that stuff. And know-how and dexterity for range attacks. Make those more accurate. Should you engage in combat, say if you don't want to have your combat drone always like be your HK-47 or waiting into combat for you.
I mean, you can like sort of like peek around a corner and take some pot shots and go back behind cover.
Yeah, exactly. So this will make it so that you're not like useless in combat. But again, there are a bunch of different ways with all the feats that you get, a bunch of different ways to make this really your own. If you do want to, use your stealth drone as sort of your eyes while you are the big hulking mechanic, rushing into things, tearing people apart. You can get heavy armor with feet still. You can still, increase your, your strength or what have you, become proficient in certain weapons. So just because it gives you intelligence and dex in here, you don't have to be physically weak.
Yeah, you don't have to just be
class.
like a nerd. You can.
Yeah, exactly. That's one good thing about Starfinder that I can't stress out enough that I like. All the feats they give you, you can really make a character that you really want.
Yeah.
You can either be, Mad Max or Master Chief.
Mm-hmm.
Pick some heavy armor, go with power armor, go with, heavy and assault, all the weapons that you can get. Well, moving on. Their class skills, it's a little bit in that sort of, we get back to middle range there. 4 plus their intelligence modifier. And their class skills are athletics, computers, engineering, medicine, perception, physical science, piloting, and their profession, charisma, intelligence, or wisdom. Their proficiencies are light armor for their armor proficiencies, and the weapon proficiencies are basically melee weapons, grenades, and small arms. So again, not a lot there. It is going to take some, sacking into, certain things. Well, every other level is going to be a progression for your character, but again, every other level in Starfinder, does it make you either choose between an ability score improvement or a feat, or do you just sort of get them?
I think you get a feat every.
Well, you get a feat every odd level, but I'm trying to think, is it like 5e where you either get an ability score improvement or you choose a feat, or can it be either or?
I'm not sure, but here's the thing. Even if we're wrong, I know in the comment section, they'll always be super merciful. No one ever says anything mean on the internet, ever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you don't have to. I'm pretty sure it doesn't make you choose, but correct us in the comments, and I'll find out for that. They do get a few things if you want to take over from them. I'll been jabbing and jobbing back and forth.
Yeah. So we talked about the drone. The next thing I want to talk about, sort of the other side of that, is the Exocortex. And basically, it's like you're plugging stuff into. It's like an extra AI. It's like putting more RAM chips in your brain. So instead of like having a little robotic animal companion to have you do stuff, it's sort of it makes you better. Like at first level, you get combat tracking, and basically makes it so you sort of you know a lot. You know some more weapon proficiencies, some more armor proficiencies. You get some stat boosts, I believe. If not at first level, you get them further on. It's kind of like that scene in the Matrix where it's basically you're downloading how to use guns and stuff. So it's like that scene in the Matrix where they sort of type in kung fu, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I know kung fu, but in this case it's I know how to use a long rifle, a long gun, and also things like memory. The memory module is it gives you like once per day you can re-roll a failed skill check, and also you get an extra skill. So basically, it's you download a skill, which is kind of cool. So I don't know, maybe it's like I don't know culture check, so you would just sort of download a wiki or something in your brain.
That would be pretty cool. Like basically, you have all the access of all like the old fashioned detective noir serials that you'd be able to read, and all the wisdom from all the Dick Tracy that you could pull up. It's sort of one of those things, or what is it, the manual of arms and armor sort of thing. If you do want to go more martial with it
and end them rightly.
Yes, of course, end them rightly. The pommel throw from days past. So many things you should be able to gain out of it.
Say what you want. So, it is unwieldy. It is stupid as hell. But also, it'd be like if you're in a drag race with someone. It's the medieval sword fighting equivalent. If you're in a drag race with someone and you sort of like put like a brick on your accelerator on your gas, and you crawled out of your car, tore the hood off your car and crawled back into your car and then threw your horn at them, they'd be real surprised and taken off guard. They'd be like, "What? What was that?"
Yeah, enough about.
Scared.
Listen, we all understand the virtues of ending them rightly and of the pommel throw. Let's move on. There's a few mechanics tricks it gives you, starting at level 2. We'll just pull off of them. One of my favorites on here was Energy Shield. It's pretty cool, and not to read everything to you, but it's just basically, as a standard action, you can use your custom rig to activate an energy shield around you. This shield provides you with a number of temporary hit points equal to your intelligence modifier, plus your mechanic level. So again, a good reason to keep putting points into your intelligence modifier there for that. The shield remains active for 1 minute per mechanic level, or until all of its temporary hit points are depleted, whichever comes first.
Yeah.
So basically it's good for a combat sort of situation. Blinks up, be really worried if you're talking to somebody and you're sort of slowly pushing things off the table with your energy shield. You can't use this ability again until you spend 1 resolve point. To regain stamina points after a 10-minute rest, your shield automatically shuts off during this period of rest. So again, it does automatically shut off. It is a good use of stamina points other than just regaining health. What was your favorite mechanic trick?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that shield kind of reminds me of like the shields in Mass Effect, like you even talk about in the game, where the field shuts off when something you're sort of not in combat or something's not coming at you super quick, because it'd be really annoying if you just sort of have your shields on, you're going to drink a glass of water and sort of pushes it out.
Yeah, so that's sort of my favorite of the mechanics tricks. I do think it has a lot to it. It's a real defensive sort of thing. It's like I'm going to try that shields sort of situation. What's one of your favorite mechanics tricks?
The one I liked is called hyperclocking. Basically, you just make your either your drone or your AI sort of its reaction time is like boosted, so it gets like it gets a bonus to its AC, or if you have Exocortex, you sort of boost your own reaction time. I don't want to say bullet time, but it sort of makes it so instead of your robot processing quicker and able to dodge quicker and stuff like that, it makes you able to dodge quicker and faster.
Oh, cool. I like it. I'm into it. That sounds really neat. It really speaks to how useful that Exocortex is, sort of always like Auntie Dot from Halo Reach sort of thing. Yeah. One thing I liked about the idea of playing the mechanic or engineer type, they can be like one of the more useful ones. Like say they can help out with starship repair, sort of thing like that. They can make sure because your equipment does take damage in Starfinder, which would be a video for the future how that whole thing works.
Yeah.
But they can be the ones that you turn to keep repairing your power armor, repairing your weapons, maybe healing your android with some of its minor scrapes and boo-boos, since androids is just robots. There are a lot of cool things they can do sort of outside of combat. This really seems like one of those classes where its class can also be its profession, sort of thing. With that, it's kind of hard to just say, I'm a technomancer, or I'm I guess mystic from some degrees if you're a priest to Apodar, would work, or you're a soldier of fortune. But yeah, my job is being a Solarian. So you're gonna kill me with your flaming hand? Pay me some money and I won't.
But I'm also an accountant.
Yeah, like this one, like its thing is its thing. If this person did need a reason to go out and adventure, or if it did need, why is such a powerful adventure? Because I had 20 years of mechanic experience before this, boy. Sort of thing like that.
Yeah.
What was your favorite example of the 4 it gives you in the book? Because again, a lot of those they do sort of branch off. So of the 4 examples it gives you in the book, what was your favorite?
I like the Saboteur. It was a
Alright,
yeah. Sorry, I like the Saboteur. I just kind of liked it because it does seem kind of cool. Like you're sort of like an outlaw, and you're using your your little henchman robot to do evil deeds. It's kind of like a
Dr. Doom and his Doombots.
I was gonna say Kite Man.
Well, Kite Man didn't have any drones.
I mean, it's got like a big old flying drone on his back.
That's just a kite. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's just like he's got this kite and he's fighting like Batman, the same guy who bested Darkseid, fought Doom. Well, didn't saw Doomsday.
Fine, like a.
Well, Doctor Doom, you're the actual Doctor Doom and your Doombot combat drone.
Yeah, Doombot or something, but it's kind of like for stealth. So maybe you're using like it to sneak in. Maybe your whole thing is it's like also adventure, but also corporate espionage. Because who doesn't have ultra high security? The local Walmart. But what they do have access to, all their corporate files through using Hacker Talk. Ooh, I can back hack the file through a backdoor subroutine.
We got to get Dump Truck in here to tell us how hacking really works.
Yeah, it's how it works. I mean, listen, I've seen it on The Matrix on TV, and they can't lie on TV.
Yeah, it's true. Just like on any video camera, zoom in and enhance.
For the Saboteur, intelligence is important. Dexterity is good, like for any class. I feel like dexterity, it always sort of gets like, but also you want to have dexterity because do you like getting shot? No? Well, then maybe make sure dex isn't your dump stat, you dummy.
Or since guns are so prevalent in Starfinder and, of course, the urban areas of the United States, you do want to be good at dexterity to be able to, aim your weapons and things like that.
Yeah. And so for your drone, you're going to want to have a stealth drone, obviously. The mechanic tricks you should have are Hack Directory, Saboteur, Ghost Incursion. And for your drone mods, you should have a camera drone and a visibility field. Your feat should be skill focus computers, skill focus engineering, skill focus synergy for the sleight of hand and stealth, and your skills should be computers and physical science. And that's it for Saboteur. How about you?
I really liked the enhanced commando. They did seem like they didn't really heavily rely on the drones. The drones are cool, don't get me wrong, but I do like to sort of see that sort of other side of things.
Yeah, the Exo.
Yeah. Exocortex. Their theme is Bounty Hunter, and again, they do want to have dexterity be your most important ability score, just because you need to be able to shoot at who's fighting you. They seem like the most fighter of them all. And intelligence, that gives you more resolve points, obviously makes all of your other stuff better too. Their artificial intelligence is going to be the Exocortex. Their mechanic tricks are overcharge at 2nd level, overclocking at 2nd level, hyperclocking at 8th level, improved overcharge at 8th level, superior overcharge at 14th, and ultraclocking at 14th level.
Oh my god.
The feats are improved initiative, toughness, and weapon focus of long arms, and their skills are athletics, engineering, and perception. With this, they can be sort of like your Master Chief or your Mandalorian Bounty Hunter or, something like that. Was there anything else about the mechanic class that you wanted to sort of bring up?
I did want to touch briefly on custom rig. That seemed kind of important.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, so the custom rig basically, I know it sounds dumb, but it's kind of like how in Dungeons and Dragons stuff, how basically, to cast spells and stuff, you're going to need an arcane focus. It's kind of like their arcane focus. It can do extra cool things, and also it doesn't have to just be like a belt. It can be other stuff like, it can be like some sort of data slate.
Oh boy.
It can be, far off futurist technology that we'll never be able to play around with. There's, they said it could also be especially if you're doing if you're got Exocortex and you're doing hacking stuff, it can be basically an extra wire. Maybe you do something, like you touch your ear a certain way and sort of flicks out a like a little USB port and you sort of bloop, bloop.
Yeah.
Or
if you do want it to be a tool belt, you can totally be Tim the Toolman Taylor.
I was going to say like utility belt like Batman, but okay.
No, Tim the Toolman Taylor.
That's right, because Batman was never cool enough to go, or ooh, 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 just like a madman.
Listen, Batman, sure, he helped problems in Gotham, but Tim the Toolman Taylor was based out of Detroit.
Yeah, and also he was overclocking things that didn't need to be overclocked.
Overclocking is totally a Tim the Toolman Taylor
Yeah, like he
feature.
would just be like I was like, all right, here's just a just a table saw. You know, you put something and you saw. It's like, yeah, but what if we hooked up a boat engine to it? Tim, that's real dangerous. Ooh,
Yeah, they murder somebody.
And then they like.
Yeah, then you probably murder somebody in the audience. Like, you're incorrigible. If there is a pop culture version of a mechanic, Tim the Toolman Taylor. Exactly. Yeah, tell me about the custom rig.
Yeah, so basically it's something where, it can give you bonuses to doing certain, skill checks depending on, level and, things you choose for it. And also it is nice how you can choose what it looks like, but also while you have this, you do have the tools you need for whatever skill checks you have. So
yeah,
that's always nice. But again, it's going to be like a wizard's, like a wizard's wand or a paladin or a cleric's holy icon or a druid's sprig of mistletoe.
Or if you are an Exocortex mechanic, one thing you could do, Space Cowboy, your hat, that's where you hide your Exocortex. And that's where you also hide your custom rig. All the stuff comes out there. I like it.
Or maybe your Exocortex is just like everyone else, like, oh yeah, it's just really small, and just in sort of that full, some of space that, I have a weird skull, and that's where it is. But the Exocortex space guy's like, yeah, I couldn't make mine small, so 10-gallon hat. And just
everything's bigger in space, Texas.
Like a whole Dr. Giro sort of bullshit thing going on.
Yeah, I'm into it. I know I keep derailing you about the Exocortex with my Tim the Toolman Taylor and Space Cowboy, but the more I think about it, there's a lot of flavor that this class has. That's not just, I don't know, Dizzy from Gears of War or
the IT guy from your work.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that IT guy, he's holding up your office together. Okay?
Yeah, you should be nice to him.
Maybe give him some sheepskin and a bar of gold, huh?
I was gonna say cupcakes, but I mean,
no.
Yeah.
First, watch your mouth. Second, sheepskin and a bar of gold.
All right.
All right, cool. Was there anything else about mechanics that you feel that's been left out?
No, that wraps up for me.
All right, mechanics, they can be anywhere from Master Chief, depending on the feats that you get, to Tim the Toolman Taylor, or Al Borland. There's a lot that this class has to offer, as well as a lot of other classes in Starfinder. Thanks for watching 20-Sided Night. Please share, subscribe, and like, and I hope you have a fantastic day.
Hey, this is Evan from 20-Sided Night. Thank you so much for watching our video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hope to see you next time. Have a great day.